Hi, Shreya.
Hello, sir. How are
Good
you?
morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Was waiting for the others to come up. Hello, good morning, Sada.
Morning, sir. Good
Hello,
afternoon, sir.
Shubham.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Hello, Yuvraj.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Hello, Bansharee. So
Hello.
first of all, let's clap because the actor prepares team has reached Book My Show. So clap for yourself. Good one.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to begin by saying thank you, first of all, to Book My Show, and a bigger thank you to Actor Prepares for letting us put this piece up. So, welcome to the Spotlight series, which was produced by Actor Prepares, the school for actors, and directed by yours truly. I just wanted to tell all of you how this entire thing came into place. That was basically the reason why we have put up with this webinar. It actually started with a very interesting idea. The idea was that I was chatting with Sadasivam. Now he will take it from there and tell you what exactly happened from there onwards. Sada.
Thank you, sir. So, hello, everyone. So, like Sir said, this idea basically started with a simple text from Sir. The second lockdown happened, and I was in constant touch with Sir after the diploma program got over. So, we were discussing movies, we were discussing about the craft, and then Sir was like, why not just make use of this time productively? Let's just come up with something interesting. So even I was like asking him, yes, sir, what could we do right now? Most of the people have started making use of this virtual theater platform and all. So let's just do something interesting. So that's when Suraj sir came up with this idea where, let's have a fun play reading session. Just gather as many people as you can, and we'll have a basic play reading session with one act play. So I was like, yes, sir, that sounds, cool because, let's take it slowly, one step at a time, because we all are, getting familiar with this new technology right now. But for some reasons, we couldn't find the desired play we were looking for. So that's when, like after 2 days, Suraj sir gave me a call saying, why not we make this into a monologue performance? Where basically, like each one of you are giving a storytelling performance as well. So in that sense, sir, like we discussed, we are enhancing the storytelling capacity as well for each individual actors, right, sir?
Okay, let me just intrude there and let you know that actually what the thing is that these all these people are alumni from Actor Prepares, and during the lockdown, everybody went back to their hometowns. Now, one of Sada is in Chennai, Shubham is in Delhi, Yuvraj is in Delhi, Bansharee is in Vadodara, Shreya is in Mumbai. Khushboo is currently in Srinagar and having network issues, so unfortunately, I think she cannot join us. But the thing was that when the second lockdown happened and everything was shut at this time, these guys had just passed out of Actor Prepares. They had just finished their graduation, and they were, and acting being a craft that it is, if you do not keep on rehearsing, if you do not keep on honing or polishing your craft, it tends to get rusty. So, in order to avoid the rust, when Sada came up with this idea that what all can we do, the play reading thing was suggested, as Sada just mentioned, and from there on, it just took over because keeping yourself within the art, keeping yourself attuned, keeping yourself in relating to everything that is related to acting is something that every actor should keep on doing, because being a performing art, agar riyaz nahi karoge तो फिर उसको आप जिंदा कैसे रखोगे? It tends to get dulled after a point of time. So उसको polishing जरूरी होती है. And I felt that as all of them could not be together, everybody's isolated in their own house, why not do this thing that do something like a play reading session? So then Shubham came up with this idea with the rest of them, I guess. Shubham, what happened then? Let's start with that.
So basically, so what happened, me, Sada and Yuvraj, all three of us, we got on a call and we thought, let's start searching for plays so that let's be productive, because somehow we had put a full stop post how happening the course was going on in AP and post the second wave. And then we had made the group, we were searching for plays, and second day Sada calls me, he messages me that sir is planning this, and I was like, we're on board for sure, without any doubt. And somehow that's how the plan moved forward.
So what happened after that is the fact that when this entire gang came in, I told Sada to go and find people who are actually interested. And then Sada had this beautiful journey. Sada, let them know what happened when you started looking out for people.
So I did, since this recent batch, the diploma batch which happened during the month of January, April, there were like three batches. So from all those three batches, whomever I knew at that particular moment, I went and, messaged them saying, sir is coming up with this initiative. And like Shubham told, Shubham, Yuvraj and me, we were planning to, do something of our own as well. We were planning to have a play reading session of our own, just in case, if you're not able to do this collaboratively, at least the three of us, we were planning to do something on our own. So when you came up with this idea, I was like, already we have two guys on board. So let's just bring them in. And I was in constant touch with Shreya as well after we, left the diploma program. So I messaged Shreya, even she was on board. Then I remember, watching Bansharee's performance in one of our, monologue activities. So I went and texted her as well because I was intrigued by her performance. So, and even Suraj sir was, suggested her name. So that's when I went and asked for Bansharee. So like all five of us were on board. Like these were the people who immediately responded to me. And sir was like, you know what, if you have five of them, let's just go ahead with it. And later, Khushboo joined us. So that's how the team of Qisse was being formed. Basically.
Yeah. So one thing, the takeaway that I would like to let all the actors and all our listeners know is that you being an actor, every opportunity that presents itself should be taken very seriously. You see, you never know because we all in fact should first of all clap for actor prepares. See, all of the shoot had to be done in their hometowns. Okay. None of these actors had their professional cameras, professional setups, professional lights, mics, and all that kind of thing. But the entire team at Actor Prepares, they put it together so beautifully after editing it, coloring it. Everything that had to be done technically was taken over by these guys. And for that, I think Actor Prepares definitely deserves one big, we all need to do that for them. When I teach at Actor Prepares, there is one thing like coming back to the subject at hand. Every opportunity that presents itself should always be taken very seriously by every actor. You see, when this thing just emerged as an idea कि lockdown में सब घर बैठे हैं, everything is closed, एक play reading करके देख लेते हैं. Play reading did not work, monologue करके देख लेते हैं. When I told Herman about that, all the kids are planning to do something like this, AP immediately said, why not just make this into a beautiful series and put it up online? And a simple idea where these students who would not be able to get that level of audience, suddenly today on YouTube, Qisse has got around 6.5 million views. So, well, not million, thousand, I guess. It's K, again, like technically inferior. So, I wish they would get 6.5 million views. It will definitely like hit the something ceiling or something of that sort. But so, getting on to somebody's asked me a question that it is for Shubham. Shubham, who was your inspiration behind your character?
So, coming from an army background, my biggest inspiration for this monologue and for this role was my dad.
Okay.
And when the monologue was finalized for me, I was super excited that I'll be playing an army officer. But somehow with the excitement came a lot of pressure that I'll have to carry the Indian Army's uniform with a certain amount of dignity and with respect.
Correct.
So, and for that matter, my dad, he helped me a lot because I used to talk to him about his early days, his early experiences. And somehow his experiences really inspired me to move forward with this.
Right.
So my basically my inspiration for this role and this monologue was completely my father.
So the takeaway from there would be that as actors, when we go behind any kind of a character, the research is very important. Yes. Case in point for Shubham, he took his dad's entire history and he presented his body language, the way he would feel about things, the way he would empathize about things, the way he would feel about how things are happening in this country. And then he tried to put it in his particular monologues. That is, I think, what worked for you. Yes. Yuvraj, coming to you. You had something which was completely off the hook. Like I remember, first of all, to make it very clear that when these guys came up with their monologues, I was the one who was constantly rejecting them. I was rejecting them for the very reason that during this lockdown, we were having this state of, everybody was in a state of sadness, a state of uncertainty. So when we decided to do this particular program, we decided that every story or every monologue or person that you find should have something which relates to something which is called hope. A hope and a very positive message towards that we can survive and this too shall pass. So I know Yuvraj came up with a lot of monologues which were rejected outright, till the point that he came up with this very interesting case of how a physical defect can put a person into a negative space, and from there on push him and pull him into a positive space if he tries and works very hard for it. So Shubham, let us know how you went across that.
Sir, somehow for me, I was just...
Oh, sorry. Again, I'm blind. Yuvraj, sorry.
Yeah,
it is the face on the screen. Somehow I'm just getting all confused today. Too excited, I guess.
Yeah, sir. Yes.
It's okay to be
As
excited.
I'm talking about my character, that is Akhil Katiyar, who in this modern era of jeopardy of one's true self came a long way in his life by accepting the inevitable. The journey of his transformation from not accepting the reality that he had been gone bald to being himself. And the things that this character had shown me throughout this monologue or the piece that I followed has inspired me a lot, that I'm not wearing a cap right now. That itself tells the dignity of that character and show. The basic problem that I faced while shooting this piece was my background. So when I shot this first, all were like, dude, your background is suppressing your character pretty much. And there isn't a sufficient lighting, because for a bald, shiny head, you need to get a natural light. So sir suggested me to shoot it outdoors. But as it was the starting of the monsoon season, so some days it was cloudy, some days it was thunderstorm, raining, and technically it was very difficult to suppress those sounds from the background. So I tried, and one day I got all things in line, and then I shot it.
So that's good. One thing I would like to add about Yuvraj's thing was that every time he shot and he sent a video, I would always keep on rejecting it for the fact that his background is taking him over, or this is happening, or that is happening. But no matter what the difficulties came in, the best part was that Yuvraj never gave up, and he went on changing the location. See, as an actor, the location definitely matters. The space definitely matters, because that space actually gives you a sense of comfort also. And the space is a created space. That space is something which, something where you imbibe the character's current mental scenario, current physical scenario. So the space that Yuvraj was shooting in sometimes was bland, sometimes was this. So eventually we had to come up and tell him that, dude, find yourself a good place where you would be absolutely relaxed, और जहां पे सब तरह से चीजें करेक्ट होंगी, जैसे तेरी शक्ल भी दिखेगी और तेरा जो शाइनी हेड है वो भी हमें दिखेगा. So I think that is something which he really had a lot of fun with. Although Yuvraj will not agree that he did not have fun, but definitely we had a lot of fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
So coming to Shreya.
Yes, sir.
We have somebody who wants to ask a question right now, but can we just get this thing over and then let's move on to questions? That would be fun.
Yeah.
So Shreya, let us know why exactly did this particular character come into play for you?
Yes. So first of all, I would like to thank everyone who's here today, and also Actor Prepares for arranging this, because this was something that we really wanted to do for a long time. And moving on to the question, the reason why I chose this character of Kriti was because I feel like this is a story of an ordinary girl who does extraordinary things. And it's more about, it's usually a character has a story about themselves, but this character was not about self-indulgence, or it was more about uplifting people around you and, imparting something in their lives. Like that could, you can be, how you can derive inspiration from them and still work with that and help in making people's dreams, come true. So that's something I took away from the character. And I felt like this is a character that I would like to do, because I felt, really connected to it the moment I was finding the monologues. So, yeah.
Correct. So, to add on to this, when Shreya came up with this particular piece, we came up with this thing that Shreya, should it be about the character or should it be about something who is associated with the character? And that exactly, I think I threw Shreya in a loop at that point of time, because even that requires a lot of thought. When you are talking about somebody else, when you are speaking about somebody else who is making a great impact on your particular character, there is a lot of influences that start happening. The the empathy that you show towards the other character and everything that goes around with it, now you have to imbibe it and consider that reality. Consider the past, consider the hard work, consider everything that has happened to that particular character. So when you talk about that particular character, the empathy is not fake. Like acting is always there. We are always searching for truth in the character we play, truth in the story, truth in everything. So I think that was a brilliant thing. And of course, see, Shreya could have done something whereby she just speaks only about herself. But then we pushed her into that particular space that no, you are speaking about yourself, but you're speaking about somebody else who made such a huge difference to your particular character's life and how it went forward. So I think that is also something we have to work very hard through, through. I think it took us a lot of things. Coming to Bansharee. You tell us the entire thing that happened with you, because I remember around Bansharee had sent me around 12 to 13 monologues which got outright rejected, that I don't want any of this. So
you're very melancholy.
Yeah, everything was melancholic, everything was sad, everything. So I said, I need you to find a character who finds strength from a bad situation. And so Bansharee, you can carry on from there.
Correct. So a lot of the monologues were rejected because they were very melancholy. And then I remember reading this monologue about my character, which is Kanika, and she's a divorcee, and despite all the hardship that she faced in her marriage, she any which way decided to, learn from it and just focus on her career. And despite no matter what happened in her life, she still, became successful and continued with her life and did not just dwell on the fact that just because of the fact that she was a divorcee or something, that she could not do more things in her life. Because a lot of people in society as well do blame women for certain things like that. But just like the character as well, she didn't stop and she continued with her life and, didn't just keep dwelling on it. And it has a hopeful ending that way.
Yeah, so we have a question here from somebody who is saying that you look so young. How did you go ahead and research for this particular character?
So my research, I was researching about at what point of life, when things happen, why do people get divorced? So that was what I was looking for, that, why do people get divorced? I was looking into a lot of divorce cases as well. So I had just built my characterization on that base to look just a little bit older. I was not planning to look like a lot older, but I think that did end up happening. And I think it did help the character as well. So I think it worked out well.
Right. So now there is this question for Sada. Sada is obviously, let me be very frank with you. Sada was the one who started this entire thing with me because of this constant. Because every time I would watch a film and put up a poster or something on the, Sada would come up with, would I watch it? Should I watch it? Do I get something from it? What? And so he's the guy with a million questions. Shubham obviously beats him with a trillion questions. But Sadasivam is somebody who keeps on asking me questions, and he was one of the students who kept in touch constantly after the course got over, asking about this, asking about that, I need this, I need that, and all that kind of thing, which is a good thing for an actor, because it is always good to be curious about things, curious about what work is happening, curious about everything that is happening around you, and being socially very conscious and not being irrelevant, being relevant in today's time. So Sada, how did you come up with this entire thing? Why did your monologue get selected by me? Let's put it that way. Why do you think?
The interesting thing is, I do know what kind of monologue Suraj sir is looking for, because I was part of his team when we were, rehearsing for a final performance towards the end of our course. So that itself gave me a basic idea. Okay, this is the kind of vision, Suraj sir is looking for. And like you said, with all this pandemic situation going on, whatever story that we are putting out, it should give some kind of a hope. The one great thing about this photojournalist monologue which I took was, these are like the frontline workers. They are risking their lives every single day. And the message that they're giving out is, no matter the situation, no matter the difficulty, you have to, do your job. It is your responsibility, because they are playing a very significant role right now with all the pandemic situation going on. And also, I thought, from AP, the one thing which I learned mainly is, how to have a minimalistic approach towards, doing something. So I thought, okay, what are the kind of props that I have? I own a DSLR, fine, and I have taken up photography as my hobby like some time back. So I was like, I can relate to this now. So holding that object, endowing that object, that is the kind of term like I learned it recently while I was reading a book. So endowing that object makes it more personal to your character, and it also enhances your performance, because back of your head, when I was basically rehearsing for this, I was able to get those visuals.
True.
Like I was able to put myself on that spot when as a photographer, if I were in that position, how will I react to it? How will it be
Right.
for me to just look at the photos which I click after all that's happening right now? So that is
Right.
pretty much why I chose this, and sir also shared a similar vision towards it, which
Right.
I'm really happy about.
No, I basically, because the character that Sada had chosen was, we had a very big conversation over this. In fact, a discussion regarding that. How would we be able to close this particular thing, close this entire monologue? And thereby, at the end of the day, you see, I started looking at myself, started looking inward, that as an actor, what is my job? As an actor, my job is to act. That is my job. I may do it out of passion. I may do it out of commitment. I may do it because I'm getting money. I may do it because I want to run my house. I'm there out there as an actor to provide my services to anybody who wants that as an actor. That's what I'm doing. So when we came down to the photojournalist thing, I said that what this guy, why is he covering what he is covering? He is covering that because there is a sense of social responsibility in that particular person. So in spite of things disturbing him, in spite of everything that was happening around during the second wave of COVID, we were seeing so many deaths, we were seeing so many scenarios which were absolutely horrific. But will that guy just give up? Will he just give up on doing that particular thing because he's scared, or maybe because he's this, or will he go ahead with it? Now, if we talk or if we show a guy who gives up, what kind of message are we showing outside to the people who are watching this? That means the message goes out that says that if there is something which is uncomfortable, which is not good, which is not something which is disturbing you from inside, run away. Now, is that the kind of message that we want to give out? Now, that was exactly why this entire theme, the theme of Qisse started. It started with the fact that Qisse ka matlab hi storytelling hota hai. Acting का मतलब होता है storytelling. And history has shown us that each and every one of us has grown up by hearing stories about the past, about mythology, about gods, from our parents, from our grandparents. Everybody tells you these stories, and somewhere down the line, as we grow up, these stories have a beautiful impact on our mind. Sometimes they may help, sometimes they may not help, but kabhi usi kahaniyon ko, I remember my grandmother always telling me, you remember ki Hanuman ke saath kya hua tha? You remember what happened with him? You remember? So those stories always left an impact in my head, saying ki, these are the ways. And stories give you morals. They give you a way to live. They are giving that. It all depends on how an individual takes to it. So the reason why we named it Qisse also was that this is an experience. It was not something jisko humko perform karna tha. We wanted to do it on a very raw level. We wanted to do it on ki ek आदमी है, एक औरत है, अपने बारे में बात कर, that's it. और उसको ना हमको ड्रामेटिक बनाना था, ना हमको, but something that I always wanted on everybody was that there should be honesty. Now, being students of actor prepares, I would always call it's a work in progress. So while like there is somebody who has commented here, you say the performance could have been better. Of course, it could have been better. It will always become better because this is just a beginning. But agar, as an audience, if you do not accept them at this level and then watch their progress go, then how will they ever progress? Agar aap yahin pe agar ek actor ko deny kar dete, it's still a work in progress. They abhi to pass out hue hain. This is their first attempt at trying to do something on their own with no person to guide them. I was there, but I was shouting most of the time. Yeah, I was shouting and screaming most of the time कि मुझे ये नहीं ऐसा चाहिए, ये नहीं ऐसा चाहिए, ये नहीं ऐसा चाहिए. I remember Yuvraj being so scared कि जब मैंने बोला मुझे white background चाहिए, he ran and just bought chart papers to cover the entire wall because white नहीं था तो लाऊं कहाँ से? In a COVID scenario, if I'm not mistaken, Yuvraj, right?
Correct.
उसके पूरे बिल्डिंग में सबको कोविड हो गया था, so he is like कि मैं जाके करूँ क्या? But he went ahead, brought in chart papers, covered the wall, made it white, and he did what was wanted. That is exactly what an actor does. An actor adjusts, he compromises, he does whatever the hell he or she can to get the job done. And I think that was something which was remarkable about these 6 people. Now, there is somebody who is asking here that you should work more on, they are asking about Khushi and why she's not here. मुझे सिर्फ इतना बोलना है that you have to understand कि यहाँ, do you think कि उसको यहाँ नहीं होना था? Obviously, she wanted to be here, but there has to be some or the other kind of issue. As actors, we have to empathize. वो नहीं हो पाया. Maybe there's a technical problem. There's a personal problem. कुछ भी हो सकता है. But when we don't empathize and we start questioning about things कि ऐसा क्यों किया, वैसा क्यों किया, ये इतना कम पड़ा, वो ऐसा, I don't think that's feasible. As an audience also, we should let people flower and bloom. ऐसा मुझे लगता है sometimes, being an acting teacher. So, there's one more question up here. I think somebody was raising his hand about some Q&A. One second, let me just figure it out. Okay, somebody is saying, Bansharee Parmar, घर से क्या experience था? How was it working from home? That would be a question I would throw it to almost everybody, all of you, starting from Bansharee.
Yeah.
How was it working from home? As in, how was it doing the prep at home?
I feel like a lot of people do get lazy when you have to work from home, but it is actually quite important to not to get lazy and work from home. And it was quite difficult to figure out a setup. I was filming in my kitchen and, I had to make sure all my gas and all was closed and I was not doing anything that could be hazardous. And it was quite difficult to figure out that setup. But I was kind of glad that we were working from home, because I feel like if we were shooting the monologues with you or at AP, you would have kind of like killed us. You would have killed us. Like, yes, and all. So like, at least we're glad that, we're just getting the input after doing everything. So at least we have that liberty ki, chalo, we can, at least do something, certain things our way and all.
Thank you for making your teacher the villain out here. It is very nice to hear these beautiful comments.
Because of the fact that you scold us like that, that's why we, from home as well, just because you had asked us, we did it very well and not just, did it in a rough way and just send out.
I would ask Shreya the same question to you also.
Yeah, so I think there was a lot of creative freedom when it came to working from home, because there are so many things we get to not just explore as actors, but also like we had one of these sessions with you, which was the finale, where we had to do everything by ourselves. Like, it was not just the part of acting, but also the production and also the art related to the setup and everything. So we learned how to set up a camera, what the background should be, how should be it, visually appealing, and like where to look when you are filming a monologue. So those things that we were doing, we learned step by step how to go ahead with finding the most perfect frame and of how to work with that. So I think it was very like explorative and very like I learned a lot. I think now I'm self-sufficient enough to keep this process and work with it more, because I get to learn so much, like different perspectives I get to see when I'm doing this. So I think that was a very cultivating process for me to understand this.
Right. So Sada, I'm pushing the same question towards you, but speak to us in a way that how has actor prepares while training you, while you were in training, like from somebody who has not acted at all to this particular point, how has actor prepares played that important role? How has the training in the camera sessions, how has everything put this up to bring it up to this particular point for you?
For me, the one thing which I noticed for myself is that I lack in speech clarity. So I made sure that is the kind of warm-up which I have to, specifically put before, going with the other kinds of, preparation and all. So I made use of Suvi sir's, articulation exercises. Then, I used to do all those vowel sounds and all. I remember my father coming and asking me, like, why are you shouting unnecessarily? So I do remember, going through all this. So I made sure first my voice is clear. And also, like Shreya said, the finale exercise of yours was very helpful, because here I thought, okay, I'm making I'm making use of this opportunity in the right way, where I can get to learn the direction aspect, the framing aspect, the shot composition, the whatever the objects that I'm going to be keeping in this frame, and also I'm focusing on my acting aspect as well. So in overall, I did visit all my notes which I took down during the AP sessions in the classes for this prep work.
Good. Yuvraj, what about you? How did AP training at AP help you in doing what you had? Like, what are the ideas? Like, for example, we heard from Shreya and Sada always. What were the things that you recollected about your training at Actor Prepares that helped you during this particular portion of the piece, preparing the piece?
Yeah, the first thing that I recollected was the notes that have been made for, and because I was going through this background problem and all, so it was very difficult to act at that moment of time. So when I have gone through all those notes and have seen what are the techniques that I should follow to put that aside and to work on only my piece, the first thing I thought of was being in the moment. That Actor Prepares taught us very prior when we started our acting coaching. And for that, there were some exercises to how to get into that moment and realize yourself and try to put yourself a batch of character and then realize your speech. And like Sada said, speech practice, vowel sounding something and all, articulation and everything. So I've done all throughout.
Great. What about you, Shubham? Now, finally coming to you.
So I would say that all these four of us have said exactly what I would want to say.
Okay.
Because somehow I would say that I remember when the first time I recorded, I did it indoors. And for me at that point of time, I was just focusing on the monologue, on the acting part of it. And then when you told me, you gave me the inputs, then I decided, no, I have to take responsibilities for every aspect of this part, of this shoot.
Correct.
So for me, the biggest takeaway from this monologue shoot that I did was the framing part. Because I remember that you told me to shoot it outdoors. And then somehow setting up the frame in such a way that what I want, what you want basically comes in, and the rest, the part which are the distractions, that get removed from the frame. So for me, somehow that was the best part. That was my takeaway from this entire thing. And definitely, I also went back to my notes from Actor Prepares. I have that diary. After completing the finalizing of the monologue, I went through the entire course. I took a day and then I started prepping up for it.
Yeah. So basically, when there are people who are asking about pronunciations and people who have putting up questions about people should work on expressions and pronunciations and all that. Obviously, I would just like to answer that question in a very simple manner, that everybody comes from a different region in India. And in India, the language and the accent keeps changing every 3 kilometers. You cannot deny the fact. We don't have one standard language. We differ in accents. We differ in the way we speak our own mother tongue as well as the way we speak our own Hindi. So obviously, it is going to take its own sweet time, and all the students, they are working very hard for it as to how to come about and get into that one little standard thing that is called as Hindi. But given the circumstance and the situation now, I think your own... one thing I would like to tell you about what we do at Actor Prepares is the fact that we are the ones who appreciate your individuality. You see, being an individual, being who you are, speaking your language, the way you are, bringing your own thing is what makes you unique. And that universality is something that Actor Prepares always cherishes. It is not necessary to be a part of a crowd. We are people who are here to become individuals. And as individual actors, how can we entertain the people as well as give them something fresh and new to work with? That is exactly what has always been the point. So let me just close this entire session by saying that when we started out, it started out as something which was very small. But as it progressed, I think all the actors right now, I should be calling them actors now, would agree with me that everything that started, we started working with the body. So an actor needs to understand the physicality. We worked with the voice, the vocality, the accent. We worked with the props, which is like everything that was externally given to us, and the location, the space, the colors, the costumes, every prop that were being used. And as well as finally, something which is called the truth, which is something like people are like, "Arey, सच्चाई कैसे ढूंढेंगे?" सच्चाई जब आप समझेंगे तो आपको मिल जाएगी. अगर आप किसी और की कहानी समझेंगे, अगर आप उसके साथ, अगर वो रो रहा है तो वो क्यों रो रहा है, और उसकी फीलिंग्स अगर आपको if you feel what they feel. Like there is this one statement which I always give in my class, is like, if you can see it, they can see it. And if you can feel it, they can feel it. That is exactly what the job of an actor is, to feel what that particular character is going through, may it be in happiness, sadness, or however the whole thing is. So again, let me end this entire thing on saying that when these things are happened, like now this thing is closed down. Now there are people who are putting up questions as to like, how are things important? How many things are important and all that. First of all, constantly be in touch with your craft. Constantly educate yourself about what is happening outside in the acting world. Okay? Portfolios are important. Clicking photographs is important, but make sure that you have a very good sense about what kind of portfolios do you want to send across. So before clicking a portfolio, make sure that you have tried out all your different looks in what you look. Basically, an actor being a product, he has to be very well placed in the market. So when you're putting yourself outside in the market, please make sure you know किस तरह की image आप बाहर भेजना चाहते हैं. There are people who would like to only कि मैं दाढ़ी के साथ अपने आप को ये image. So if you're going to put up an image, a face with a beard and a mustache and a hair and that, then people are exactly going to see you in that. Now, being a visual, completely a visual area, people are going to judge you by your looks as well. So try out all your tried and tested looks and all that. And when you finally put yourself out there, or whenever you're spending on a portfolio, make sure you're sure that this is exactly the kind of image that I want to give out to the public. You understand? So that is how it is to go. As for all other things, neither your skin color is going to matter, neither your hairstyle is going to matter, neither anything. During COVID times, we have to understand that the entire world has now started opening up. They have started opening up, looking at different cultures, looking at different stories from different cultures. And everybody has now decided that, okay, कहानियां बोली जा सकती है, उसके लिए एक हीरो या हीरोइन होना जरूरी नहीं है. Now, basically, the importance of characters has come in. एक कहानी में अगर 4 लोग वो important है, तो वो चारों के important है, and everybody is unique to that story. Everybody is taking and doing their own part to take that story forward. So do not worry too much about your looks. Do not worry too much about. The only thing is, when you're stepping out, you should be absolutely sure with yourself what exactly do you want to send out there.
That's
Yeah. So that is something that we need to understand. Yeah, there is somebody called Gaurav who wants to ask us a question. Yeah. Yes, Gaurav. Okay. I doubt it's not here. Is he speaking? Okay. So I think Gaurav has this question. I think I have just answered that question.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have just answered his question, I guess. Okay, I'm getting these weird sounds. Anyway, secondly, please give yourself time, and in order to keep on polishing yourself, read a number of plays, constantly read them, and when you read them aloud. When you read them aloud, it just opens up the jaw, gets your pronunciations correct and all that kind of thing. Don't ever be ashamed of who you are. That is one thing that you should always remember. एक आदमी जो अपनी डिसेबिलिटी गिनता है, maybe in the eyes of others, that's his biggest strength. सबसे बड़ी strength वही हो सकती है. हमें जो चीज disability, so you should be able to use your disability. That should be your best ability. In fact, that's what I would feel. And when you go out there, make sure that you work very hard. On set, you should be the hardest working person on set. उसका मतलब ये नहीं है that you kill yourself over it. Always have fun. Always be very positive minded. Always be happy, and always say hello to everybody. Starting from ground zero to the top brass, everybody. You should acknowledge the fact that it is because of these people that you are going to be who you are in the future. Everybody has got a hand in it. अगर gatekeeper gate नहीं खोलेगा, तो तू audition में कभी time पे नहीं पहुंचेगा. So you should be thankful to the watchman also. You should be thankful to the guy who is giving you your cup of tea because your mouth is gone, your throat has gone completely dry during the audition. You should be thankful to your assistants also who are guiding you. You should be thankful to your directors, producers. Just do not be somebody who appreciates people because they are going to help you and you know they are going to. No, every individual is very, very important in your career because they are going to guide you. They are the ones jinki wajah se tum ho. So always stay grounded. Constantly be thinking about कि हम किन चीजों के ऊपर काम करेंगे, किन what are the things I need to improve on. Somebody has just asked here a question कि diction को कैसे सुधारे. Diction को ऐसे ही सुधारा जा सकता है, आप उसको पढ़ते जाइए and read things aloud. Because जब कभी-कभी ऐसी होते हैं कुछ शब्द है जो हम कभी बोले ही नहीं, we have not spoken certain words in our lives. तो जब वो आते हैं तो हमारा diction खराब हो जाता है. So when you keep yourself अलग-अलग चीजों को लेके अगर उसको जोर से पढ़ना शुरू कर दोगे, then all these things will definitely loosen up your jaws. Pronunciation अपने आप ठीक हो जाएगी. 4 बार कोई सुधार देगा, बोले ये गलत बोल रहा है. 5th time you will get it right. And do not be afraid to make mistakes. And once a thing is gone, it's gone. It's in the past. Live in the present and don't ever live in the future. Don't create stories out of anything कि मैं ये कर दूंगा, वो कर दूंगा. आज के दिन में and make sure that whatever work you do, आपको रात को नींद अच्छी आए. Because anytime you do some kind of hard work, रात को बहुत अच्छी नींद आती है. And when you have cheated on yourself with your life, or when you have cheated on things, you know कि आपको रात को नींद नहीं आएगी because your gut will tell you that dude, today you did a bad job. Follow your gut instinct. That is your greatest teacher. Never ever ignore your gut instinct. If it says it's wrong, that means it's wrong. ठीक है? So anything else? I just want to tell all of you that this last entire whatever time we have spent together has been phenomenal. We had a crazy time up ahead. Behind us, I guess. And we shall definitely be doing things in the future. So everybody say your byes, fatafat. So you can always say, I'm Shreya Verma from Mumbai signing off. Say it.
Yeah, hi, I'm Shreya Verma. I'm from Mumbai and it was nice. This session is amazing. Bye-bye.
Bye. Go ahead, Sada.
Hi, my name is Sadasivam. I'm from Chennai. This experience has been phenomenal for me. So bye. Thank you for everyone who joined us.
Bansharee ji.
Yes, I am Bansharee Verma from Vadodara, and yes, the entire time we spent doing this was just a great experience. And I do hope with working all of you in the future again and again and again. So
thank
you to everyone joining the session. Bye from my side.
Yuvraj.
Hi, my name is Yuvraj Mishra from Delhi. And it was a great experience to be with you all, guys. Thanks to the team. Bye-bye.
Shubham.
Hi, my name is Shubham Bijanya. I'm from New Delhi. And thank you to each and everyone, from Suraj sir to everyone at AP, to all my fellow co-actors for guiding and for helping and for everything. So thank you so much. Jai Hind.
And all I want to say is that big thank you from the Actor Prepares family. And I am being part of the family. I want to thank Herman, want to thank Resham, want to thank Harshit. And I want to thank each and everybody who helped us make Qisse this particular show successful. I want to thank everybody who has put their trust in AP, the past students, the current students, everybody. And this is Suraj Vyas here. And I just want to tell you all that no matter what happens, I love all of you. So, you finally get it. So thank you all. We end this discussion. और इससे खत्म होता है हमारे किस्से. Goodbye and have a nice, beautiful life. Always stay safe, stay healthy. Please wear a mask and maintain social distance. This is Suraj Vyas from Actor Prepare signing off. Namaste.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.